Me again. It's my show now. Let's talk about The Bachelor. Let's do a quick COVID check. We're good. Sarah's at her mom's, sorting through presents. We had our baby shower yesterday. Thank you to everyone who came out or sent a card or a gift. It was a lot of fun to finally see people. I'm personally overwhelmed by the support. I'm sure Sarah is too. Thank you to my mother-in-law for hosting. That was a great party. Thank you so much. I love you. All right. Victoria was insane the whole episode, so I'm going to address all of that at the end. I don't want to get bogged down every 5 minutes talking about her, but I will address it because she is possibly insane. Chris says there's going to be one group date and 2 one-on-ones, but because of the number of contestants this year, not everyone will get a date this week. The first one-on-one goes to Bree, and of course she wore her worst outfit today.
I wore my worst outfit today.
They ride ATVs, they crash, they fall in the mud. It's so funny. They get in a hot tub, they kiss each other, the whole 9 yards. Just a perfect date. That evening, the one-on-one date, they go to dinner, they talk. Bree says she's from a single-parent family, similar to Matt's situation, and they both talk about how they've always been drawn to large families because they're drawn to that piece that they felt was missing in their childhood, which seems like they're connecting on that, but I was thinking to myself, well, then y'all aren't going to connect because neither one of y'all has a large family to bring to the table, so ain't going to work. Anyways, they kiss, and Matt keeps his eyes open. Me, personally, I close my eyes like this when I kiss. But I don't care if you want to open your eyes. That's cool as me. All right, and then we had a group date, as usual. On this date, we have Chelsea, Serena P., Abigail, Sydney, Ileana, Kristen, Lauren, Jacinia, Serena C., Kit, Kylie, who I keep saying her name wrong last week, Katie, MJ, Mari, Piper, Rachel, and of course Victoria. The date is a wedding photo shoot. They all get in wedding gowns. His pictures are awful. Unless we're just not seeing the final picture that he took. The snapshots they kept showing us were the worst pictures I've ever seen. He might just be the worst photographer there is. Only a handful of them got photos taken, which upset a lot of the girls. Chris says there's more to the date. We're going to play Capture the Flag, but he calls it Capture the Heart. And they have paint and they have flag football style stuff. That's it. That date, I don't care about that date. The second one-on-one was with my girl Sarah, and he took her on a plane. They went flying on one of those open-air single-engine planes, and they kissed a lot because you kiss someone when you're in love. Matt thoroughly explains what an emergency contact is.
I refer to it as my emergency contact because it's like whenever you're filling out those forms, it's like name, date, age, whatever, and then it's like your emergency contact. It's like, who is that person? And
then he mentions Sarah has walls up or there's something she's holding back. So that night at dinner, he asks her about that. He says, I feel like you're not sharing everything. AKA the producers told me you have a sad story, and she does. She reveals her dad has ALS, ice bucket challenge disease, and that he's been deteriorating even leading up to her leaving for the show. And so what I loved at this part was that Matt acknowledged that she was giving up something significant to be here.
What can I do throughout this experience to show you that I could be someone that you'd want to be with?
Anyway, that was a great line. Good job, Matt. Then they kiss so hard that her makeup transfers to his face. And when they stop kissing, she has no makeup on and he has a full face of makeup. All right, we're moving right along. This is great. When I do this, shoot, I do wish Sarah was here. But she doesn't care about this or you or anything anymore. All she cares about is that damn baby. All right, so back at the cocktail party leading up to the rose ceremony, Marilyn and Matt have a talk, and Matt says, you said you like orchids. Haha, I got you an orchid. Good job, Matt. I think the producer did that, but she loved it. She was on cloud 9. But now we're getting into the Victoria drama. Marilyn comes back to the girls holding the orchid, and just Victoria, you can see it in her crazy eyes. She can't handle it.
What's going on? How are you feeling?
Okay, well, I do have, things I want to tell you just because I feel like Marilyn was my roommate and,
Was your roommate?
Yeah, and, she just, cries to, manipulate situations, and she's just, straight up toxic.
Look, you never know what battle someone else is going through. For instance, Victoria is obviously battling a lack of knowledge on personal hygiene and makeup. Be a little kinder, because she's a freak and she's an idiot. And you have to respect that. If she's a real person, someone needs to pull her aside and be like, hey, this is how you do your makeup. This is how you do your hair. This is how you wear your dress. This is what size clothing you're supposed to be wearing. I'm not body shaming her, but like, I'm bad at dressing. I'm bad at fashion. But if I were going to go on TV, I would hope someone would give me some pointers, because they're just letting her like fail out there. And it would be sad if she wasn't such a mean person. Finally, we make it to the rose ceremony, and the roses go to Piper, Kit, Maggie, Rachel, love her dress, Abigail, Chelsea, Jessinia, who kind of looks like Nicki Minaj lately, Katie, Serena C., and then before another rose can be given out, Sarah nearly faints, and she has to be taken off by a producer, and it's to be continued. You know, that whole ploy. Let's take a minute to talk about fainting, because Papa Andy's got a lot to say about fainting. When I grew up, I thought fainting was going to be a much bigger part of my life. I was, I think it's overrepresented in media. Like every show you turn on, every movie you turn on, somebody faints. And I remember this kid fainted in choir in middle school, and the teacher told everybody after that, when you're up there on the bleachers and you're singing, don't lock your knees. Don't lock your knees. And so my whole life, every time I'm in a line or I'm standing at the grocery store or whatever, I'm thinking in my head constantly, like, don't lock your knees, Andy. Don't lock your knees. You're going to pass out. And it's a culture of fear. And I've never passed out. And I think that kid in middle school just had low iron or something. But it's this agenda they have to shove fainting down our throats as normal. And if you guys want to faint in your own bedroom, that's fine. But don't shove it down my throat, okay? Anyway, this episode is also to be continued.